What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you are? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Suck me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control. What does
Well, the
perfect
next
even
one, the
mean?
week 4 of the Unified Premier League.
Is
We got
there
Striking
even such a
Vipers
thing?
against Synthetic Esports. I think we'll be on the red
We
side for
switch
Striking
up all
Vipers.
the
We'll see if they can
rules
continue their winning streak.
and
3-0
imagine
in
a
the first
utopia.
half of the round robin.
Darling, I'm just so fed up
There's going to
with
be a total of
these
6 weeks, and they can only
expectations.
play
They
just under
keep
20.
weighing me
So,
down.
right now, Striking Vipers
My heart
champions
is
on
begging
top
me to
of the
get the
division
hell
at
out
3-0.
of my head. I'm
Synthetic
gonna
Esports 1 and
live
2 in
inside
the
the
division, winning
upside
them and having a chance
down.
at taking the
For
top
a
spot in
minute and
the division.
pretend,
And we'll see if
honey, I'm a
it is
perfect
a good
10.
matchup this
Whoa,
time.
Yeah, just kind of
whoa,
point out what you were
honey,
saying.
I'm a
It is
perfect 10.
6 weeks, only 3 weeks left. So
Whoa.
right now, Synthetic Esports
And
is
if
sitting
I
at
say it
1 and 2, I
enough,
believe.
it gets ingrained in my head, and
So
I
basically, a
start
loss here
to
will
see.
pretty
Honey,
much
I'm a
knock them out
perfect
drastically. Because the best they can go if they lose today is 3 and 3,
perfect 10.
and the worst Vipers can go if they lose
Honey, I'm a
today is
perfect 10.
4 and 2, and then not lose. The best they can do is also 4 and 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, a loss here. That's if Not Zeus does win. If it does come down to Not Zeus going 3-3, I do believe they have a tiebreaker as they did
To have a certain face, a suit and
I
weight
want to say it was last week.
twice.
So
We are in
that's definitely
pixels on a
if they
screen.
have some kind
Only
of
human we breathe. Every single
Yeah,
thing
look,
we see
Striking
curated.
Vipers
It's rated.
locked them in
These
the
expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down. For a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Aphelios, and Aphelios is good into Ezreal because Ezreal is not very aggressive in lane. The Karthus is an interesting pickup from Synthetic here. I'm expecting potentially a jungle Karthus, but I don't know how the Karthus matches up against the Diana right in this given time.
Yeah, and chat, you know, my players have been phoning me all day, and that's kind of off topic here, but we're gonna take some action after this match is over. Just to point out something real quick, ZMT will not be playing today. He is on vacation. So you will see Nemesis 9 in the mid lane for Striking Vipers. A very, very solid, probably, not just solid, a great mid laner. And we do have to thank ZMT for that, as he persuaded him to kind of help us out for the week. So it's great to have him on board. So we'll see how Vipers do with the new mid laner. They only really had 1 week's worth of practice with him, but at this level, you know, sometimes you don't really need all that much practice since you kind of already got the experience at the ELO level. Plus, Nemesis 9 has played on plenty of teams before, so he definitely has that team experience, just, you know, with different players. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I definitely think it's still important, even at this high of a level, to get a feel for your teammates. Being able to know what they're most likely to do in a situation is always helpful, because even for high level players, there is a decision tree that they go through. It's not just like every high level player goes through the same thoughts. You're not going to see everyone flashing forward like Wild Turtle playing on an immobile carry. So you gotta know what you're to expect from your teammates, and once you do, you can start to play a little bit more aggressively potentially, because then you know what to expect in follow-up. But anyways, we're getting back into the draft here. Seeing the Lucian picked up means that we will be likely seeing Nemesis 9 piloting this Lucian. Strong mid lane pick, and with the Lee Sin locked in, I'm going to be interested to see what the Lucian is up against. I think Lucian, one of the strongest lane champions for solo lanes. So we'll see if Nemesis can pick up some early leads.
Yeah, I want to say Karthus. I just haven't seen Karthus in the jungle in quite some time. I'm sure he's still decent in the jungle, but I feel like Lee Sin is the better pick in the jungle. But then again, Lee Sin can go mid. I don't imagine Tom Kench going mid lane. I imagine he'll be in the top lane. he since he kind of does better in the top lane, but I think it will be Karthus. We'll see in the mid lane for synthetic.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned here about the amount of damage that Synthetic has drafted. Like, there's not a whole lot of consistent damage there. Lee Sin gives you a bit of burst. Karthus will be like an execute damage if you get too low. And then Ezreal's got poke, but they don't have any real DPS sources. So that could be concerning. And I think that given that, the Mundo last pick is fantastic. I love to see that. I think that Anime Girl should be in a very good spot to carry this game potentially. We will see just how effective that can be. The Tom Kench top is pretty strong in lane, I believe, so could be a tougher matchup through the early stages, but Mundo is going to be very difficult to take down in the late game here.
Yep, and we are going to move over to the pick bands on the client. We will see where these gentlemen end up playing in terms of champ pick. Let's see. Yep, we're good to go. Okay. So we're gonna go through the bands first, as usual. We already know the bands. Just to kind of go over the bands again. On synthetic side, they banned up the Yone, the Yasuo, the Viego, Akali, and Fiora. For Vipers, it was Syndra, Sinzhou, Irelia, Yumi, and Graves.
Yeah, those make sense as bans. I mean, like Aurelians and Zhao are just pretty strong right now. Syndra even picking up some buffs recently could be in a good position, so not a surprise to see her on the ban list. On the other side, banning out some of the strong melee champions. I'm not sure that with the Akali ban, that they may have already known about ZMT not playing. Although it could be the case that Nemesis is a Kali player too. I didn't do my advanced scouting, so definitely don't want to discredit anything from him. But well,
Right.
I think
And
that the bans.
oh, sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, it looks like Kurtis will go in the jungle. I don't know if I really like that. Especially with the Diana jungle. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. I really thought Lee Sin would have been better here. Maybe they felt like he'd do better against Solution. That's the only thing I can really think of. But this is definitely an interesting choice, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, they picked the Lee Sin after the Lucian pick, so I think that the Lee Sin may have been an answer. I'm not sure exactly because I don't feel like Lee Sin is like a strong winning matchup into Lucian. So a little bit of a sus draft, I'd have to say, from Synthetic, but we'll see if they can pull it off. I mean, it's all about execution when it really comes down to it. But I think Striking Vipers are set up really well here to have early advantages and be able to carry those advantages into the late game.
Yeah, sorry, my dog just climbed on my table, so I'm trying not to make sure she doesn't press any keys. But
Don't end stream, please, Rob's dog.
yeah, no kidding, right? But yeah. Anywho, back to kind of what we were talking about. I think so. I think the matchup I'm gonna look closely here is the Lee Sin and Lucian matchup. Just based off the Karthus jungle, usually your mids and jungles go hand in hand in terms of 2v2s. I honestly say not to. I mean, not to really sound biased, but Striking Vipers 2v2 in the mid lane is definitely stronger. With the Diana Lucian, so we'll see how that really plays
Yeah,
out.
yeah, and I think that anytime that you have the Karthus jungle, your mid jungle duo is going to suffer for it because the Karthus just wants to play passively, just sit in jungle, farm up camps, press R when someone gets low, and then collect to 300 gold. But whenever you're talking about 2v2 fights, Karthus A needs to be there, which is not a given. But then once you're in those fights, Karthus needs to find ways of being effective, which you can get your slow off. You can start doing some Skittles damage if you get in close enough. But I don't feel like Karthus has the same sort of impact as a Diana, where you can just jump in and
Yeah,
instantly delete the enemy carries. So I think that we should be expecting a lot of the mid jungle duo to be going in favor of Striking Vipers. And given that fact, I think that a lot of the early game objective priority should also be in favor of Striking Vipers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna take a quick little break here. As we get ready to go into the rift, and also I have to take care of my dog because now she's trying to jump on the kitchen counter. So we'll be right back.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels they come and go, and they
Welcome everyone to the Rift. We've got game number one coming up, Synthetic Esports on the blue side. On the red side, we're going to have Striking Vipers, and we're already into a pause, so off to a good start here, as you can tell.
Yeah, actually living it a little easier for me as well. Not to worry about having a pause or anything to keep with the stream. Actually, I think I just did, but not sure what the issue is. Oh, it looks like Synthetics Esports top had disconnected. Yeah, so
Yeah,
hopefully he
well,
gets back
whatever the
soon.
case.
So let's kind of dig a
Yeah.
little. While we have the time, we can dig a little deeper into these matchups here. Um, I imagine the top lane is just going to be kind of an island with Tom Kench and Mundo. You're not going to get a
Hmm.
whole lot of action. And if there are going to be trades, I imagine it's just going to be some 1v1s. I think the focus is going to be around the mid and bot lanes, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that with that top lane, there could be some early kill threat. I think both of them, Mundo and Kench, have early ability to do a decent amount of damage just off of base damages of abilities. But after like level 6, probably not going to be much kill threat either way. And on the rest of the map front, I think that mid lane should be pretty contested a lot of the time. I'm expecting Nemesis to play aggressively here with the Lucian to make sure that Reppy is going to be forced onto the back foot a lot of the time. And we'll see if any roams can come through to help Reppy out here. But I would be expecting a lot of fighting in the mid lane either way. And bot lane, I think that Aaron is going to want to play this out very defensively just to stay close to tower, throw mystic shots, kill minions, scale up a little bit. But I feel like whenever you've got Ezreal Braum, you're just signaling that you're playing a defensive lane. And I don't mind Braum as a counter pick to Thresh, but it's not going to win you lane.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I actually can't wait to see Blossoms on Thresh. Last time he played Thresh, I think it was against Nazuz though. Um, he was pretty clean with the hooks. The man was just insane. So we'll see what happens here. Um,
Yeah, could be a
and
5-man invade
I was
potentially
just about
coming
to
from
say,
Synthetic
yeah, they
Esports.
will be spotted though.
Good ward.
Blossoms does get the ward down, and just in time too. I think if he was just a second late, he might have been caught out there. So
Yeah, maybe he would have had to burn flash. I don't think they would have been under threat of dying
yeah,
necessarily. I mean, there's not a whole lot of kill threat. There's no hard CC that's going to come out immediately, but
yeah,
still not something you want to do to burn a summoner spell early on. So able to avoid that.
yep,
Uh, Looks like could be a topside start from Krapkodon. Could also be topside start from Robo Blunt. I think the last time that we saw these two teams play, Robo Blunt was not in the match either. So we got a matchup of two different junglers than the first time around.
yeah. I think Rippy is new too. I, I might be wrong about that one, but definitely RoboBlunt for sure. He's definitely new on the roster. He may have played last week, but obviously we didn't see last week. But as in terms of playing Striking Vipers, it is a new jungler. So we'll see how things go. We'll get a standard start. I was kind of curious if they were going to commit to that invade and thinking, believe Vipers have the stronger level 1, and so they do choose
Mm-hmm.
to back off. So smart move by there, just laying some poke down. And it looks like the Lucian is going to have going to be pressuring. Like, I think you mentioned that earlier. Lucian's definitely going to pressure a lot. And that's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, and I think that it is noteworthy that when you talk about level 1 fights, Aphelios isn't really a champion at level 1. So it would have been an interesting fight to see, like, especially if it had been numbers. Well, Hook's going to land now. Blossom's actually landing to play onto both as well. Ignite ticking down, not going to be quite enough to kill off Fancy yet, but that is going to be both summoners off of the support for Synthetic Esports. So definitely a gankable lane now, and still level 1 for both of the bot laners as well. So just showing off how powerful that level advantage is.
Yeah, like I said, Blossom's on the thresh, man. Wasn't disappointing there. He lands the hook and the flay. I'm actually surprised he got the flay off. Because like Braum had flash, but I guess he didn't flash far enough. So well played and almost took him out. So Vipers definitely have the strongest start. They are pretty much gonna have this lane in their control. They're gonna tell synthetic bot lane, you're gonna play it how we want to play it. And like I said, top lane just doing their thing. And nothing too crazy in the top lane. Right now it's all in the bot lane and the mid lane.
Yeah, and right now just trying to farm it out under tower is the bot lane for Synthetic Esports. Pretty decent job so far, actually. I don't think that Aaron has been missing much CS there at all. Uh, pretty good farm from both sides in general early on in this game. I mean, it is to be expected when you're at such high level gameplay to be good at farming, but given the range of different levels that I watch gameplay from, it still strikes me as impressive, even though it should be to be expected.
Yeah, let's not talk about my farming. I don't know if it exists. I don't think it exists. I'm not gonna lie. But
Hey, I'm a
yeah.
support main. My farming actually doesn't exist.
Hey, we can relate on that much, right? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, I moved the
Could
camera
be a
there.
gank here
Yeah.
coming up in the top lane, but it looks like it won't be because Robo Blunt is currently playing Karthus. So
Yeah.
enough said about that.
Yeah. And
Nemesis,
ooh, almost got the solo
all
kill.
right.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get it. But it goes back to what I was saying. Like Karthus, I don't think that was the right choice as a jungler. I feel like if you at least sit in that position, you could at least made a play and maybe forced a flash out at best from Anime Girl. But being that you have the Karthus, it just doesn't make sense to me as all. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
it
an engage
looks
here
like
from
a
the
little
Karthus.
bit of an engage from Brown Man Darius, trying to run him down. But now Robo Blunt is going to appear once again for a gank, and that will be the flash burned by Anime Girl. Uh, looks like nowhere nearby is Crackodon. I saw him on the top side before, but immediately running bot side, actually, the response to that will be the Drake. We'll see if they're going to be able to take it down in time. Should be a pretty decent start. I mean, Robo Blunt will take a while to get there. Should be a pretty free Drake as long as this might is true from Crackodon.
Yeah, and you know, I get that Karthus was able to get that gank off, but you kind of I feel like it was just kind of late because now you got Vipers on the dragon because they knew how long Karth was in the top lane. He never really left, and Diana was already on the bot side. So yeah, you get the flash, but I don't know if it's really worth the investment you did on that because you spent a good what 3 or 4 minutes in the top lane while bot lane and Diana were kind of clearing, and then they get prior on the dragon and ultimately take it. So again, I don't know. It's an interesting choice still to me. And then Lee Sin kind of
Mm-hmm.
struggling with the Lucian mid. Nemesis playing it really well. Has been winning the trades even on the engages by the Lee Sin. So right now, Striking Viper's doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, and if anything is to come of that gank in the top lane, it needs to be punished. Like the flash down is meaningful, but it's going to be difficult to kill a Dr. Mundo with just a Tom Kench and a Karthus, even if it's flashless Mundo. So now that Reppy is level 6 on this Lee Sin, I would expect maybe a roam top from the mid lane in order to try to punish the missing flash. I don't know if we'll see it, but if we did, then that would be something that potentially evens up the value in that topside investment.
Yeah, and good vision on the bot side for the Vipers. As Last Dance was able to see that gank coming. It was a valiant attempt, but they do have that river warded really well as they walk over another ward. So well aware of where everyone's at on the side of synthetic. Vipers definitely are able to play around that, make sure no mistakes are made, and keep track of everyone they need to keep track of. It looks like
Yeah,
Karthus
I
may have looked to play mid, but again he was caught up by that control ward.
I respect the attempted ganks coming through, but when you're playing Karthus, you just don't gank. I don't understand from Blunt what the idea is of trying to go for these ganks. And now it's going to be an invade coming through. Crackodon going to find the Moonfall, the flash forward, the hook lands from Blossoms, and first blood goes over Crackodon.
Blossoms is a Nemesis. Oh no, we'll get it. Okay, I thought he was gonna get that, but Blossom. Oh my God, he predicted that. Like he's definitely seen it done a million times. He threw the hook exactly where that flash was gonna land, and yeah, he had no choice but to go visit the gray screen there.
Yeah, well, great stuff on the roam from Blossoms. And whenever you see the Thresh picked up, that is something you have to keep in mind. The roaming potential is always going to be there. And going for the invade right at that timing was perfect. It was just a situation where Blunt had to be there. The vision was good to know where Blunt was going to be, and then they just had the resources to kill him. And now Anime Girl could be in trouble, going to be forced to ult. Going to be okay though because all of that health regeneration should get him back to a situation where it's an even lane state at least.
Yeah, and kind of point out something too. The first split goes on the Diana. I think that's a great choice for who gets the first blood here. Gets her stronger, gets more ahead. And now she's also ahead in the CS. I believe she stole some camps on the way out. I could be wrong about that, but I believe the Gromp was up. Um, so she's strong right now. She's only going to get stronger, and it's only going to be much better for these lanes as she continues to farm.
Yeah, and just as long as the game keeps going the way it's going, almost 2,000 gold lead already developed by Striking Vipers. Now an engage potentially coming through, trying to set up as a gang in the bot lane. Pants going to find the stun on to Last Dance. Already heal going to be burned. Now it's going to be the target onto Blossoms. The stun will come through. The True Shot Barrage lands, and the last auto attack will finish him off. Aaron going to pick up that kill. The counter gank going to be a little bit too late. Warded out as well, going to be the disengage coming through. So it's a kill in the bot lane for Synthetic.
Yeah, that was actually well played by Sydney. As soon as Blossoms actually surprisingly misses the hook, they jumped right onto him with no hesitation. It was at least he was able to get the Aphelios out because Aphelios was almost stuck there for a second. I'm surprised he was the one that went down actually in that fight. But good job by Blossoms on getting him out, keeping his carry alive, allowing him to farm, get some solo XP out of it. But ultimately, Ezreal will pick up a kill. So being down CS only 10, but the kill will help him kind of keep along with the Aphelios. So
Yeah.
just going to check the gold
Right
right
now,
now.
yeah, we can take a look at this gold. It's about 700 advantage for Krakadon. Uh, Pretty close in the bot lane. Even after the kill, it's a slight advantage to Last Dance. And Nemesis, just with a big CS advantage, able to pick up uh, almost 1,000 gold lead over Reppy. So right now, that's pretty much where we stand. Top lane's pretty even. Support role always doesn't matter with the gold difference unless it's like carry supports. Now it's going to be the second Drake going over as well, so right on track with the soul point. Going to be coming up under 22 minutes is the pace. Now some more invades coming through as well from Krakadon, going to try to continue to push that CS advantage. And the next target, the Rift Herald, could come down in the mid lane and would be able to finish off the tower. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the choice.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Striking Vipers got the dragon there, at least weren't contested. I thought Synthetic would have had prior after the kill on Blossoms. I guess they just decided not to rotate to that position. And it looks like Crocodile will drop the Rift mid, and we'll get that last few plate
Yeah,
of
Synthetic may be too
golds.
far forward here.
And they
Uh,
will go get it. They might get a charge on the second tower.
yeah,
We're gonna
there's
get
going to be a
anything?
calling through, but I don't think it's
No,
going
it's
to
not
be
gonna.
enough.
Yeah.
The eye going to be popped. That's going to be it. But first tower already going over to Striking Vipers. Now
Uh
a
oh.
little bit of a fight in the top side. The ultimate from Tom Kench. Now it's going to be the engage forward trying to find the knockups, but the healing is coming through. Anime Girl going to stay alive for a little while longer, and it looks like that's going to be the end of any kill threat for either side. They'll keep whacking each other, but don't feel too concerned about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised Anime Girl. I would have flashed. He was thrown right into the tower. Anime Girl did not flash it. He still has it. I think that's what Brown Mandaris is hoping for. But played that well. Sidestepped the ultimate. Kept himself alive. So he still has a flash. He'll have TP. No, they
It's
both have TP.
limits.
So, uh-oh. Oh, there we go. We got a little pause
A
there.
little bit of
Uh,
freeze.
yeah, we're good now. But yeah, well played.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a camp coming through. Actually, just going to be Pants our gameplay, trying to camp his own lane. Not doing much roaming here. Braum not a known roaming champ. Did get a good engage off when the gank came through in the bot side. Now a little bit of an invade on the top side jungle. And it's going to be Anime Girl trying to find the kill. Flash already burned from Robo Blunt. Now the Abyssal Voyage coming through, making sure that Brown Man Darius can show up. I haven't casted a Tom Kench game since they switched him, but
Yeah.
it's still going to have a little bit of that mobility around the map, I suppose. Able to disengage for his jungler. Good hook there from Blossoms. Don't think it'll have much follow up, but still a fine display there. That's about it for the fighting at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if he was trying to get a flay in there, but was probably just a bit out of range. Everything in
Ooh, Nemesis going in, gonna try to finish off Reppy, and now Krakedon gonna be able to, a couple dashers coming through and turning it into a double kill. So the fighting not done for long is Striking Vipers striking the mid lane for a double kill.
Yeah, that was perfectly played. Nice ult down there by the Nemesis 9. Bot lane's going to get this. Oh, they're going to be engaged.
Yeah, but here comes the dive. It's going to be a great stopwatch coming through from Blossoms. Now the damage starting to come down. True Shot Barrage going to land, going to not have quite the damage. Nemesis going to be able to get out alive as well. That means the dive has been perfectly executed. Two more kills going over to Striking Vipers and the tower.
Yeah, originally I thought they were just going to focus on the tower. Then I realized that they rotated from mid down to the bot lane for the dive, and well played. They not get 2 kills. Everyone survives, and they get the tower. I think you can ask for anything better.
Yeah, Blossom's looking really good in that fight, and then good cleanup from the mid jungle duo, showing up at just the right moment. There was no escape route potential from the side of Synthetic Esports' bot lane there. They just had to sit under the tower and try to survive it, but there was no chance. So right now, a 6,500 gold lead. I can do math.
Yeah,
I can do math.
yeah, and
It's very heavily in favor. And look at how much of that is on Krakodon. About 2,500 here. It's a 2,000 in favor of Nemesis as well. And around the rest of the map, just small advantages. But right now, this is exactly who you want to have fed on your team. You got fed Diana, fed Lucian, and the enemy team not having any real tanks. I mean, Tom Kench does get pretty tanky, but he's not there yet.
yeah. I think at this point, Tom Kench came to where he needs to be. He's going to take a little bit longer than he probably hoped. When your team's down in all lanes, I mean, Tom Kench is playing his lane okay. He wasn't down really that bad in CS. He was kind of matched. He's a little bit down now, but that's due to the first turrets and everything. Our first turret, sorry, and everything. But he's definitely got to kind of pick up the pace here if he's really want to be he wants to be effective in any of these team fights. Because right now, your best bet is the Ezreal. I feel like Lee Sin is just kind of too far behind to really catch up. Um, and Ezreal hasn't been doing too bad either, especially with the farming, and he does have the kill, but he's gonna have to do way more.
Ooh, could be Reppy in trouble here, going to be flanked by Anime Girl, going to be able to safeguard to a minion though, so that will be all. We did just see the Cloud Drake go down, which means that Cloud Soul will be coming up in 5 minutes. Striking Vipers continuing to push the pace on these Soul Drakes. And with the Drake stacking coming this soon and still being down 7,000 gold, the situation just gets more and more complicated for Synthetic to find a way back into this one because they need to be able to fight in 5 minutes. And they need to be able to at least steal away the Drake, but they're not in position to do it. They're too squishy. They'll just get blown up. Now Anime Girl trying to 1v1 Reppy. Reppy going to try to bait him out on the tower. Going to be in trouble though. Flashing over the wall. Good flash angle, but the Bone Saw is still trying to come down. It's going to be a Sonic Wave to a minion, actually trying to find the escape. Reppy going to be able to walk this one out, still chasing him down. Is Anime Girl going to be dissuaded as the cavalry has arrived? Now both sides starting to show up. It's going to be a 3v3 breaking out. Teleports coming in. Moonfall landing onto both. And Last Dance picking up a kill. Now it's a double. And here comes the Requiem. True Shot Barrage goes wide. Now it's going to be Brown Man Darius tanking up the front line. Going to be able to finish off Last Dance. It's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Striking Vipers.
Yeah, it kind of goes to show that they're just behind. I mean, you had the Tom Kench came too late. If he was there sooner, maybe you turn it around. I don't know because Karthus isn't really doing anything. Lee Sin isn't doing anything. He was getting beaten by a Doctor Mundo under tower. So like, what does Synthetic have to really turn a team fight? You have the Ezreal, but he misses barrage, which I think was where they're hoping if it landed, maybe they could have done something. But I don't think Ezreal's really where he needs to be to really be that carry they need him. They want him to be. So it's what do you if you're Synthetic, what do you really do in those team fights? I feel like you can't really do anything.
Yeah, not until they can get some more items at least. They're in a spot where right now they get one shot and they don't have the tools to one shot back. I mean, they were fortunate in that fight to come away only down 2-1. Now it's going to be a hook going to land. Good interrupt from Panzer gameplay. Now the engage trying to come through. Moonfall going to land onto the front line. Now trying to get out. Is Krakodon going to be able to buy space? Nemesis coming through with the call and going to be able to finish off one on the backside. One going to pick up the counter kill on the Blossoms. Now trying to find the flank is Anime Girl going to go for it. Aaron going to be able to use the arc shift away. Now Anime Girl trying to find some bone saws. Doesn't have enough team support, so going to be able to back off of this one. And it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, you had the Tom Kench there, but he had lost health fast. He wasn't much of a tank in that fight, so I think that kind of shows the state Vipers are in right now and how strong they are. And if you're synthetic esports, time is ticking fast. You have to do something. You have to catch someone out. You
This is
have
greedy from Reppy.
definitely. Is he okay? I thought he was gonna go in on that. If you're synthetic, you have three
He was
players on.
fortunate not to get
Yeah,
picked
I
off.
know, right? You have three players on Vipers with shutdown golds. You gotta hope Ezreal or even Tom Kenshi maybe pick up one of those. But even then, I feel like that won't be enough. They're just so far behind. I honestly can't think of a way. Oh, maybe this is the pick they need. No, they
Yeah,
see
they're
him.
gonna try to look for a way in,
They
but
see him.
Baron's just spawned, and now the rotate. It's 5 man all the way up to Baron. Now it's going to be striking Vipers trying to burn it down immediately. They've got double AD carries too. This is going to go down fast. True Shot Barrage going through at half health. Division is there. Synthetic Esports going to try to contest this. Reppy going to find the Dragon's Rage. It's going to be smited away by Krakodon though. Now we kind of see the fight. It's going to be the first kill going over to Krakodon as well. The shutdown will go through. Here comes the Requiem. The double kill has already gone down. The health bars are starting to get low. Anime Girl going to try to get out with the lantern, but it's not going to be quite enough. Aaron going to be able to pick it up with the auto attack. Now it's going to be trouble for Blossoms just trying to get out in the brush. Now we're going to try to walk away. Going to be in a lot of trouble here, though. I have to feel. I mean, 3v1. How are you going to get out of this one as a support? The stun comes through, but it will all be for naught. Aaron going to pick up another kill on the back end of the fight. Baron goes over, but a 1-for-3 striking Vipers not exactly on the winning side of that.
No, they do get Baron, fortunately, but now you only have it on two members because the Aphelios did go down on the initial fight. If you're synthetic, I think that's kind of the fight you wanted and you got it, and they did win it. But Striker Vipers do pick up Cloud Soul, so we'll see how that really helps them out. But the ones with the Baron are the two strongest, essentially, on Striking Vipers. So it's still kind of a rough situation if you really think about it. But I think they figured out what they need to do. You got to take out the Aphelios at least. Take out the Aphelios first, because that's one less carry that's doing damage to the team. Even then, Vipers almost won that fight. It's just I think the Requiem was what kind of did it in for Synthetic Esports.
Yeah, and there wasn't any chance for Krakodon there. I didn't feel to use a good ultimate. He was too focused on smiting down the Baron, which was still like it was a good thing to do, but that ended up making the team fight a little bit harder to navigate because it was on a terms where the attack was coming from synthetic esports, the engage was coming from the other side, and what we've seen be so effective throughout this game has been striking Vipers on the engage, just being able to win the team fights before they even start. Now it's going to be Krakodon flanked here. Dragon's Rage going to pick him, but he's got the flash over the wall. The Glacial Fissure going to try to go through, but the health bar is still about full for the side of striking Vipers. Now incoming is Nemesis, going to try to find the culling over the wall. Will be able to finish off Robo Blunt. Now it's going to be traded back, though. Last stance a little bit far forward there. Going to be able to go down. It's a 1-for-1. The siege still coming through onto the tier 2 tower. True Shot Barrage will go through yet again, and now the tier 2 will be falling as the cannon minion going to be able to knock that one down. New wave coming in as well means that it's going to be the side of striking Vipers still looking for more. And the Baron buff going to be onto these minions now as Krakodon is in the area. Now we're going to be the base trying to be defended by the side of Synthetic. They're going to go in. Anime Girl going to be able to lantern out of this one. Blossom's going to land the hook onto the front line. Nemesis coming in again. Requiem being channeled up, and the Moonfall comes down as well. It's going to be Krakodon going into the Zonia's flank, coming through from Brown Mandarius, going to try to finish off the kill. Krakadon is taking out the back line. Nemesis working on it as well. Now it's going to be 3 kills going down in favor of Striking Vipers and only 1 for the side of Synthetic. Flash forward going to
Oh
be
my
enough to
god.
finish off the ace. Nemesis
Nemesis.
going in deep,
Jesus.
Madman finishing off the ace, and that means that the base is going to be in trouble as well. Double digits on all the death timers. There is a minion wave coming as well. This should be enough for Striking Vipers to take down game number 1.
And what a performance on the first game by Nemesis 9. That kill over the wall. Oh my god. And then he finishes it up by killing Roboblocks. Oh my, that was nuts. Insane. The man is crazy.
Yeah, just a very strong performance by the mid jungle duo. Krakadon just ahead ever since the first blood went through. Krakadon didn't look back. Nemesis working well alongside. And Blossoms, of course, continuing to land effective engages as we have come to expect from him. But a strong team win from Striking Vipers here in game 1. Going forward, I'm hoping that we'll see from Synthetic something that has more proactivity. They just had such passive lanes. They didn't really have any win conditions to play it through. Even going into the late game, they didn't really have scaling advantage either. It was just a tough draft diff, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal was starting to pick up some damage. Tom Kench as well, the Karthus Requiem, but in the end, it was just coming in too late. Uh, Striking Vipers had hit every item spike they needed to end the game, and Krakadon, man, he was putting in work in that last team fight, and Nemesis 9 doing his part, and man, he was landing some nasty ults. It was crazy. So game 1, going over Striking Vipers, and it was definitely a dominant performance. It was a So we'll see if they can continue that as we move on to game 2, and we will take a short break.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Suck me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Suck me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for game number 2. We've got Striking Vipers moving over to the blue side this time around. Synthetic Esports will be on the red side with the counter pick. Will that be enough to get them onto the winning side of things?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. We were kind of mentioning it during the intermission. If you're synthetic and you're put in this position, you would think your best picks, your best players, your best performance would come out, but after seeing game 1, it feels like they maybe are just still in the mode of, well, we still have time, but you really don't. So let's see how it goes here.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of always putting your best foot forward, even if it's not like a situation where you need to stack up wins if you want to get to playoffs. But whatever the case, Synthetic is going to have to find a different gear to get into this game if they want to be on the same level as Striking Vipers after what we saw from them last game.
Yeah, definitely. And Synthetic they're not like a bad org. Like, they definitely have great players. They've had great teams. They've been in plenty of winning positions before. So it's kind of surprising to see this kind of performance, just based off what I've seen from them before. I don't know if maybe the roster change may have maybe hurt them and the team chemistry. But yeah, it's definitely showing in as we take a look at the bands. Looks like the same bands from last time. I think the only difference here is, oh wait, did they switch sides?
Zin's up. Yeah, Graves got banned instead of Zin. So that means Striking Viper Matt first picking that Zin potentially going to be the Diana band out, so I will expect to be seeing Zin Zhao first pick here from Striking Vipers. Could go a different direction with it, but not what I would be expecting, and especially with the Diana band out, I think that Zin Zhao is just still a cut above all the rest of the junglers, so I'm not surprised at all to see that as a first pick.
Yeah, I agree. We'll definitely see what Synthetic picks here. They have to pick something stronger than what they did last time. I think they relied too heavily on the Ezreal. Ooh, we got a Elise. Okay.
Yeah, Elise is a pretty spicy pick. I was talking to him after the last game about how I wanted to see some earlier game aggression. Elise definitely plays into that. Elise can gank early, can win some fights. I don't think that Elise wins 1v1s against Zinzao, but Elise can definitely set up a winning fight. And depending on what they pick up in the mid lane, I could see Synthetic playing through a strong mid 2v2 with the mid jungle. Could be the same bot lane being set up here by Striking Vipers with the Thresh for Blossoms. I don't know if you lock in the Aphelios here, because I think Aphelios probably more used towards the Ezreal counter pick. But it looks like Last Dance is still feeling pretty comfortable on the champion. So I didn't see anything wrong with it last game. could just be a very similar comp being run back by Striking Vipers this time around. I don't see any reason why not. It worked for him last game. They could go back to the Lucian mid potentially. When I wouldn't be too surprised to see it get banned out here by Synthetic, but either way, I think that Striking Vipers wanting to go back to similar ideas to last game and what worked.
Yeah, just to answer the question of from Aldego and Rock Tribe, it's gonna be ZMT's new team very soon. But back to the draft here. Yeah, I think Last Dance performed really well on the affiliates. I don't see anything. I would have agreed on maybe waiting to the next phase, but maybe they're also afraid it would have been banned out. They probably prefer the affiliates over the Lucian. Um, and they're probably also seeing where they went with jungle on synthetic side as well, as it is at least this time in not Karthus or Lee Sin. So maybe that was something they were taking into account. But so far, same stuff from Striking Vipers, and we do see the next set of bans. It's LeBlanc and Akali from Synthetic, and Darius Ains waiting on that final ban. It's going to be
Yeah, and
Lucian. Wow.
they're banning out the Lucian themselves. So that would have been definitely a viable flex pick for Synthetic here, but going to be taken off the table. Still could be something like a Tristan if they wanted to go to a similar sort of idea, but Tristan not quite as effective as Lucian, I don't think, at this point in time. So could just go to something entirely different. I wouldn't be surprised actually to see uh, just another Ezreal pickup because while I don't think it was effective, uh, I guess that the Casio could be bought as well. So I was thinking about the Ezreal not having been as effective last game, but Aaron was actually 4-2-2. So if they're going to play around more aggressive solo lanes, Ezreal would still be a fine pickup. But the Casio could be flexed here between mid and bot. I would be interested to see which way it goes. I'm expecting that it's top Kench again because that's what we saw last game. Victor going to be the pick for Nemesis here, so I'm excited to see how the different play styles come through between playing a control mage and playing an aggressive marksman with mobility built into the kit. I'm still thinking Nemesis should be in a pretty good position, but we'll see just how well this game plays out. And the Dr. Mundo being run back as well, so we'll see what Synth has in store for us with the last pick here.
Yeah, I'm still a little concerned on the side of Synthetic. They don't have any. Oh, Riven. Okay, never mind. I wasn't. I was gonna say they don't really have any AD, but I just saw the Riven go through. So I take that back. But it was gonna be concerning. I'm thinking you need some damage here. That was the problem last game. They had no damage. And I was thinking you're gonna really go with that twice. So they do pick up the Riven. I imagine that goes top lane.
It'll be interesting to see where everything is because I could definitely see something like Tom Kench top, Riven mid, Cass bot with Seraphine support, but it could also be something entirely different like Cass mid, Riven top, and then a Tom Kench Seraphine bot lane. So really a wide variety of different options with Synthetics picks. I like them more than last game, but there's still a pretty decent burden of execution here, especially with that Riven pickup. So I'm going to be watching carefully to see if Synthetic going to be able to make the best out of these champions that they've picked up, or if they're going to look lackluster and then be not any different than last game when they didn't have any drafted ability to gain these advantages.
Yeah, I will say I do like Synthetic's draft this time around a lot better compared to last draft. I think they kind of covered everything they needed to cover that they didn't last game. They relied too much on the Ezreal, especially in the late game, and then of course the early kill or the first kill to the Diana in the Synthetics jungle. So we'll see how this one plays out. I do think it's better, but we'll see if it's gonna come down to really execution. Just because you pick better, you have the better draft, doesn't mean you're gonna win. It's gonna come down to how can you play this, and it's Riven top
Yeah.
at least jungle. I'm really
Yeah, and
curious
I
who's
think that this should be a better draft for Synthetic than they had last game, but I don't know that it's a better draft than Striking Vipers have. So this could be a situation where like the game could be closer, but we still see striking Vipers coming out on top. Uh, I guess that this tells us that it will be the Seraphine Tom Kench bot. So that's going to be an interesting combination. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff like that. I mean, maybe you think of that similarly to Tom Kench Senna bot lane, uh, but I'm also not sure who will be doing the farming here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Tom Kench Senna is it's Senna. He usually still lets Tom Kench do the farming. I imagine if you're surfing, you want to do the farming, right? If you got a Tom Kench support, I don't know. I'm not really sure the goal here. Um,
Yeah,
a little
that
confused.
definitely would be an option. But I think that Tom Kench does scale up pretty well with gold. Seraphine could be debated. I don't know if you're trying to go for damage. Actually, in this situation, I'd say that with the Seraphine pick, you really aren't looking for that much in the way of damage. I will say that picking Seraphine Tom Kench into Aphelios is kind of mystifying because Aphelios just wants to scale and Seraphine Tom Kench has very little kill threat, it feels like. So that should just be allowing Last Stance to just walk all over them, is what I would assume just based on how I see that matchup playing out in my head.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're playing more for the disengage than the actual engage. And if you think about it, they do have the more and probably better CC compared to Aphelios and Thresh. If Thresh really goes in on his hook, then they can really lock him down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the goal. Maybe they're trying to slow down the bot lane as maybe they felt the bot lane was more of a threat. But I feel like the bigger problem was in the mid and jungle last game. I mean, with the Cassio, I think she is stronger than she's definitely stronger. I will say than at least Sin in the mid lane. At least I think so. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. Every cast I've seen, it's just no fun. So
Yeah, I think that a lot of the issue last game came from that it was Lee Sin picked into Lucian, so it was that range versus melee matchup. And with the Karthus jungle, there was just no help. Like there was no way out of that lane for Reppy. He was just had to sit there and take it pretty much and just try to farm up whatever he could. But Nemesis was just able to be forward all the time, could roam around if he wanted to because he had that prio. He was able to bully Reppy off of some of the CS as well. So just was able to get himself early advantages and then push those towards getting larger and larger advantages, starting to pick up some kills as well. And with this time around with the Victor versus Cassio matchup, that should be very even. And I'm not expecting anything to be going super hard either way with that. The top lane matchup this time around is where I'm having my attention. It's a lot more volatile than it was last game.
yeah. And with that being said, we will go ahead and take a quick break. Make sure you give us a follow, give us a sub. Really appreciate it as we get ready for game two between Synthetic Esports and Striking Vipers. And Synthetic Esports really on the ropes right now.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rift. It's time for game number two. We've got Striking Vipers on the blue side. We've got Synthetic Esports on the red side. Striking Vipers trying to make it a quick 2-0. We'll see if we're going to be out early tonight. As Striking Vipers' very strong performance in game number one definitely left no room for doubt there, and we'll see if they can do the same here in game number two.
Yeah, and just do a quick little update from our other UPL team. They did take game one against Rock Tribes, so they are moving on to game two. They are being streamed currently on UPL, which we will go ahead and give a little raid after this game is over. But kind of going over game two here right now, I imagine this game will be a little closer. Synthetic this time does pick well, I'm sure they thought last game was good, but honestly, I just felt like it was too weak. We're here. They kind of fixed some of those problems. So this match should be closer, and these team fights should be much more juicier, and we'll get some early gold for the cast. She gets the word there.
Yeah, already got that 10. Already look at that CSD 1-0. Game over, probably. We'll have to see if there's any way for Striking Vipers to come back from this immeasurable deficit. But I don't think that they're going to up so easy. They're able to respond here.
Yeah, and we will get, we will get the standard start. Blue side for both junglers. Top side blue for Vipers. Bottom side blue for Synthetic. Yeah, we're gonna get right back into normal laning phase, and ooh, some little early poke damage there against the Aphelios.
Yeah, already trying to prove me wrong here. Aaron didn't lay down some poke. And interestingly, Last Dance has taken the cleanse. I think this makes a lot of sense. When you're against a Seraphine, you always have the threat of getting charmed up by the Encore. So going to be able to get himself out of that one. But definitely going to see how often that's an impactful summoner spell throughout the game.
Yeah, I think the lane that is definitely going to be focused on is the mid lane. Can Repi perform better now that he has a champ that will perform better? Like he had a rough time with Elise Sin. It was just a bad pick, honestly, overall. And let's see if he can actually uh, do something in the mid lane and not fall so behind. And we're gonna get an engage here.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive here from Panzer. Gameplay going to be forced to flash away. Good play coming through from Blossom. Knight definitely going to threaten the kill. So that is going to be the flash burn from Panzer. Gameplay. We'll see if a gank coming through here shortly. Cracking it on already on the hunt.
Yeah, I was actually surprised it was a Synthetic who gave it the first flash there. They had a decent engage in the knockup. Or did he get the knockup? I thought he got the knockup, but it was actually
The knockup went wide.
oh okay. It was actually Vipers who actually are the ones that turned it around in a favorable matchup for them. And they get the flash. So well played.
Yeah, it's going to be Crackodon hovering near the spot side. I think he just wanted to pick up that crab, so not going to be looking for anything just yet. We saw some trading on the other side of the map as well. Brown Man Darius was able to find some effective use out of the ribbon early on, but Andy Girl sticking close with this DSing, so not going to be impacted too much by that just yet.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how Anime Girl does this time around. It is not the Tom Kench, so it's not really melee for melee. Raven is melee, but she does have some. Her kit does have some range to it, so imagine he's gonna play a little bit more careful this time around. And bot lane
Yeah,
being shoved in by Vipers, so they're really playing aggressive. Which honestly, I thought it may have been the other way around, but not completely.
yeah, and in these early levels, I think that Seraphine getting double cast ability is pretty strong. So maybe going to be a little bit of poke going back and forth because of that. And Aphelio's still not a strong early game champion, even if he is a marksman, and I feel like that should make the bot lane winning for striking Vipers. That doesn't mean that he's instantly going to have just a powerful auto attack that chunks 30% HP or something like that. He's Jin. Oh, good hook from Blossom's going to be trying to find a way onto Panzer gameplay. Pants going to be no flash available, just standing in there trying to tank it up with a thick skin. Going to be running out of that shortly, but 200 HP separates the catfish from the gray screen.
Yeah, I imagine if that's any other support, I think he goes down. But Tom Kench is a chunky boy, and he will last in a fight if he has to, and he definitely had to there. So, still okay so far for synthetic, and we're gonna get a pause. Looks
Yeah,
like support
looks like
disconnected.
disconnect.
Yep, but kind of to what I was saying. I think, like I said, any other support champ there, I believe he goes down. But when you're Tom Kench, you can kind of sit there a little bit longer than most champs, and if he just showed it there, I honestly saving grace is what it was for him.
Tom Kench is just built different.
He really is. He really is. The man is nearly impossible to take down. Nearly impossible. Between him and Dr. Mundo, I feel like it's just.
Yeah, that was a heck of a lane matchup to be looking at. I think that right now we've got a good chance to take a look at some of the matchups and how they're going. Last Dance actually getting out to a pretty decent CSing advantage. Aaron is on the farming here with the Seraphine, so I was not correct with my assumption that Tom Kench might be playing this lane out like a Tom Kench Senna lane, but that's okay. Sometimes Tom Kench Senna lanes also play it out with the farming carry. But whatever the case, Aaron going to be farming this one up. It will be interesting to see the build path. I still am hoping that we're going to see Shirelias or a Moonstone potentially coming through here. I think that with all the AP damage available on their side, they don't really need to have a Luden Seraphine. But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious. And so far in the jungle matchup, it looks like Crackodon is up a level. He is up in CS. So I imagine we'll see much more from him very soon as we head into possible dragon fight. As they're both going to, looks like they're both pathing towards bot lane. Um, just from the pause here, and then in the mid lane, it looks like Reppy is doing a bit better. First game he was down all game in CS. This time he's actually up only a few, only by what 5, but it's still a better
Mhm.
position compared to last game.
Yeah, I think the Casio wins the matchup early because Victor just needs to have his upgrades before he starts to do major damage. But once that damage starts to get there, then Nemesis should be in a good spot. So just keeping up with the CS is probably right about where I would expect uh, to see Nemesis right now. Reppy doing a good job. Credit to him for getting the CS advantage for the moment, being a little bit pushing, but Cassio just kind of does that when you have a spammable spell like the Twin Fang. So going to be able to CS more effectively with that. That's why I was thinking potentially we would see a Cassiopeia bot lane as well. Definitely viable there. Have been seeing that in the past. I haven't seen Cassio bot in a while, but I know that it's been good before, and I don't think that the reasons why it's been good have been taken away.
Yeah, I think it's a Ziggs bot now. Not a Ziggs bot
Yeah, that's
lately.
true.
I like Ziggs. I wish I saw him more in pro play. I think he's a fun champ. I think the last time I
Yeah,
saw him in pro play is when it was. Oh, never mind. We're back into the game.
I like the Hootie Ziggs support. That's my favorite.
I haven't seen that. I'll
Well,
definitely have to see that. Oh, we got another pause. I think this is that glitch
he
you were
just
talking
roams
about.
around and takes down a bunch of towers
Yeah,
because Satchel Charge is kind of busted,
yeah, no
and
kidding.
Riot doesn't care to do anything about that.
So we'll be back on this game soon. I believe this is that glitch you had mentioned last game. We did this with the pause and then another pause. So it should be good. Yep, here we go. Cool. Back on the rifts.
All right, good deal. I'd like to highlight for a moment the early game decision making from Last Stance to buy a call. He did this last game as well, and really nothing came out of the bot lane. So the call was a really good purchase. Going to be able to get the maximum usage out of that, get the bonus gold from the minions, and then be able to sell that off and be in a better position than if you just bought Doran's blade and then did no fighting with it. Drake already started here as well by Krakadon. A little bit later in the pace than last game, but Striking Vipers still on top of the early game objective priority.
Yeah, that's something they've been doing really well on. Not just this series, but the last few series too. Picking up those early drakes, and it looks like a little trade in the top lane. Nothing too crazy. Riven just doing Riven things. Remember when Riven
Hmm.
was the meta? Oh man, remember those days?
Blossom's on the run.
Oh,
We'll see if
is he in
they're
the
going to
spot of that?
be able to find
Is he,
Robo Blunt behind enemy lines here. Could be some trouble. Going to find the Cocoon, trying to blow up Blossoms here. The Flay going to come through. Now the engage coming through from Brown Mandaris. First Blood going to go over to the side of Synthetic Esports. Trade back, though, is Krakadon able to finish off Robo Blunt, so it's a trade of support for jungler.
yeah, you know what's crazy? I think if they had walked in that bush sooner, I think they get the kill, maybe two. But RoboBlunt got lucky that they didn't walk sooner. It gave time for Reppy and Pants or gameplay to move up to that position just in case, and it will be a one for one though, and it is Crackerdown who will pick up the kill. So both junglers sitting on one kill. I still think, oh, they're both even in level now too. So well played by both sides, but I think Synthetic is a little bit happy with that gameplay there. We will get an assist. We're getting another engage.
Yeah, it's going to be the Chaos Storm thrown down by Nemesis. Not going to be able to pick up a ton of damage. Reppy shrunk to about half, but so is Nemesis. So both ultimates on cooldown right now. Reppy used it in that last fight to help secure the kill onto Blossoms. Blossoms now trying to find the hook into play. Panther gameplay going to be just fine though. Tom Kench, a tanky boy, as we alluded to earlier, not going to be too concerned about that with all that thick skin in the way.
Yeah, if you're bot side for Vipers, you're gonna have to get the hook onto the Seraphine. That is your best bet for a kill, right now at least, and honestly probably for the next couple levels as long as he's down there. So we'll see if maybe they try and look for Seraphine this time around. But to be honest, Panzer gameplay, he's done pretty well keeping himself between Thresh and Seraphine. So and when a hook does land, it's not onto the Seraphine, it's onto the Tom
Yeah.
Kench.
Yeah, I think that the target that you want to hit a hook onto is Seraphine until Tom Kench hits level 6, because then he's got Devour and he can just, like devour the carry after they get hooked. So it doesn't really matter all that much in that case. But whatever the case, Panzer gameplay in a pretty good position right now was helpful on the roam to make sure that they were able to get at least a trade of kills. Did a good job of following Blossoms, because Blossoms on the CS is always going to have the threat of roaming. Now it's going to be another roam coming through from Panzer gameplay, going to force the flash out from Nemesis. So another effective roam.
Yeah, I think the Tom Kench is just has been better for the support so far on the side of Synthetic because those rooms have been clean. He has a better engage compared to when Tom Kench is top because you can just leave the Cerebrine for some solo XP, so she's kind of winning on her end to the deal, and you get some better ganks and they might get a dive here.
Yeah, it looks like Nemesis could be in trouble. Already dropping the Chaos Storm. Will be able to dodge out the Cocoon. Nemesis trying to back away. He's got now Krakadon here with him. It's going to be trouble for Blunt trying to escape, trying to finish off the kill, but Krakadon going to be able to find the kill in the counter gank. It's 1-0 in favor of Striking Vipers.
We're not done.
Well, it could
Oh,
be the ultimate comes through. Brown Man Darius going to be able to find the snipe and the kill on the Nemesis, making it a 1-for-1 trade.
yeah, I was just gonna say Nemesis played that really well to keep himself alive on the dive. I think he should have just backed and he would have been fine. I guess it looks like they didn't have vision on the side of the jungle, but I think he just got a little too greedy on wanting more. Maybe he was just trying to get some extra farm, which isn't bad. But when you're low like that, with the Riven missing, I imagine he should just come back instead of staying in lane and trying to pick up some extra gold here and there. But
Yeah.
ultimately, that will hurt for Anime Girl a little bit. As ooh, maybe not.
Yeah, Anime Girl still playing Mundo, going to be able to walk forward. No ult available for Brown Man Darius at the moment. Ult dropped by Anime Girl there to ensure that the trade was winning, but not going to be that just yet. Brown Mandarius playing pretty aggressively as you would like to see on this ribbon. Now Robo Blunt on the flank again, trying to find Nemesis once again. Good stun coming through, and the wave isn't here yet. Cocoon going to be dropped. It's still going to be a good combo from Reppy. Able to finish the engage coming in. Blossom's trying to find some counter kill action, but not going to be there in time. The flay not going to be enough, and the double kill comes through for Reppy.
Yeah, they really wanted Nemesis 9 as that was the second dive. This time it's more favorable. Blossoms just was a bit too slow to get there and actually do anything. I imagine he was just going to try and throw the lantern. But the Tom Kench was there as well, so it could have still been a rough situation as Tom Kench ulted in to stop any flank or even escape. That could have been possible. And now Synthetic will pick up their first drag of the series.
Yeah, that means that this game already on a much slower pace than last game. Uh, Pretty much dead even on the gold, even on the Drake count. Anime Growth could be in trouble here. The flank starting to come through from Panzer gameplay. Crackodon is in the area as well. Could be a 2v2 starting to set up. Uh, Looks like it's just going to be the Rift Herald started up instead, though. Striking Vipers trying to find an objective on the other side of the map to go to and hopefully get back in the driver's seat with the gold lead.
Yeah, and it will be the Ocean Soul, which is going to be really, really good for either Dr. Mundo or Tom Kench. So both teams are really, really going to fight for that. And we're going to engage, it looks like.
Yeah, Brown Mandarius feeling pretty aggressive here, trying to go in. Doesn't quite find the ultimate Anime Girl going to be able to finish him off in time, and that means a solo kill going down in the top lane in favor of Striking Vipers.
Yeah, well played by Anime Girl. He knew his ult was up. I'm surprised Riven didn't know ult was up. Being that she just saw him pop it, what, a couple minutes ago? Maybe she just didn't have the timer down. But good play by Anime Girl.
Yeah, could be a little bit of a Rift Herald in the mid lane, but I was thinking potential dive. Nemesis going to be able to dodge out the Petrifying Gaze. The Gravity Well not going to land the stun quite yet. Now it's going to be walking forward. Is Panzer gameplay going to try to find the stun? But now the flank coming through from Brown Mandarius. Nemesis is in trouble and there's no way out. It's Blunt going to pick up that kill as Synthetic Esports able to find the collapse.
They're really making sure Nemesis 9 does not play this game
Oh,
right now. Oh,
Blossoms lands the CC. The Crescent Guard going to go through the good devour from Panzer gameplay, going to save the life of Reppy, flashing away. Now on the flank, Anime Girl still trying to find some engage. Now it's going to be the leap forward from Crackodon, trying to finish off Robo Blunt. Has flash, not quite available just yet. Going to be finished off by Anime Girl. But here comes the counter. Blossoms into the stopwatch, going to try to survive for the moment, but going to be the beat drop landing. Is Aaron going to pick up the kill? Now it's going to be the Moonlight Vigil going to land onto two. Roots coming down. It's Anime Girl. The front line is down onto Reppy now going forward. Once again, the thick skin going to keep alive. Pants are gameplay for the moment. Going to be able to survive this one. Cutting it back. Aaron going to try and the beat drop landing. Not going to have the hitbox. So his last dance trying to dance his way out of this one. Could have flank come through from Brown Mandarius. Going to try to go in here with the Blade of the Exile. Going to be at Blossoms zoning away though, and that should be the disengage.
oh my god, that was nuts. That was just so much in one play. I think Vipers came out with more kills on that. They only lost Blossoms, if I'm correct. They couldn't get the Tom Kench because of the thick skin. Kind of go back to you're gonna have to target someone else other than the Tom
Mm-hmm.
Kench, especially when you're diving under tower. It just becomes really too hard. And then nice block there by Blossoms to make sure that Brown and Darius cannot continue the flank as he was going to try and dive into the backs. So well played by the Vipers there. It does catch them up in terms of kills, and they still have a small gold lead. And they also had that rift too, so that helped a lot. So overall, I think Vipers were okay
Yeah.
with what just went down.
Yeah, right. Anime Girl is in the top position for the side of Striking Vipers to try to carry this game. 3-0 on the Dr. Moon. We could be seeing a dive attempt here in the mid lane, but Blossoms is nearby, so that means that the lantern's available. When you have a fed Mundo, that becomes very difficult to kill. Now, this time around, Synthetic does have the DPS. They got Reppy on this Cassiopeia, so that should be enough to at least threaten to kill off anime girl Dr. Mundo, but I think it's still going to be a menacing thing to look up against. And whenever you're in a fight, it's going to have to be a protect the Casio because otherwise it will be anime girl running the fight.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a stun. CC combo onto the side of Last Dance. Going to be able to survive for the moment, though. It's the counter engage coming through, and Blossom's not going to be able to land that hook, but Krakadon will be able to finish off the kill onto Panzer gameplay, which means that the gank is successful in the bot lane. And onto a killing spree goes Krakadon, once again going to be doing work in the jungle role. Now it's going to be Last Dance in trouble here. Going for the Moonlight Vigil, going to try to turn this one around. Here comes the Chakram. He's going to be able to finish off Reppy before he goes down. Going to be turned around to 1-for-1 going through. Nemesis now going to find Robo Blunt on the wrong side of the map. Going to try to blast cone into the pit, but he's going to be hooked up immediately by Blossoms and shut down by Krakadon. Going on a rampage, going to be into the Drake pit as well, which means Striking Vipers are once again in the driver's.
Last Dance with the two. I mean, he didn't get two kills, but I still think he did as much as he could and probably better in that 2v1 situation as he took down Reppy. And I believe Reppy had a shutdown goal. So that goes over to the Filios. And then on top of that, Blossoms catches out Robo on the blast plant and hooks him in midair. And that was just a 3v1 situation right there. So that was actually. And then they also get the dragon. So that was really well played by Striking Vipers. They take the lead in kills and they extend their gold lead just a bit more. It's still really close. So take a look at the lanes real quick. It is Anime Girl and also Krakadon who are the ones having the biggest lead in terms of gold. Looks like Nemesis is down, but
Reppy.
yeah, Reppy does have the lead there. And we're gonna get another engage.
Now we're gonna have a engage in the topside river. It's going to be the pressing guard forced out from the side of Krakadon, so won't have that available for the moment. But good lantern out going to be enough to find the disengage. Now Blossom's walking around menacingly, just going to be enough to force the recall to stop channeling from Reppy. It's always dangerous when Blossoms is on the thresh, and teams starting to respect that here. Synthetic going to not take any chances when Blossoms is nearby.
Yeah, and the roamings have been. I'm going to be honest on both sides. I think the roams have been really good from both supports, and it's led to some great fights. And these fights have been closer, like we mentioned, they should be. So the supports are doing a really good job from the roaming and being in position where they need to be. It's honestly coming down to who has the better position, who gets there when they need to get there first. That's really going to decide these late game fights is who's gonna get to that position first because it's going to come down to where the fight is, who's in the fight, and what time of the fight. So we'll see what happens. I imagine the next fight will be at the next dragon as Vipers will look to get a soul point, and it will be up in about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So there's still some time. Um, the only
Mm-hmm.
other the only other objective will be the rift in about 30 seconds, so I maybe will make a play towards that next.
Yeah, it's Baron in 30 seconds. Actually, Rift Herald was just picked up by
Oh, I'm
Krakadon, so
sorry.
we'll
Yeah,
see if
my
they're
bad.
going to be able to throw that down in the mid or top lane potentially. Is where I'd most like to see that. Being able to crack the mid lane would definitely help in getting some drakes. But now it's going to be the flank coming through from Robo Blunt going in, going to force the flash out. But it's going to be the lantern with the flash, meaning Blossom's able to get both of them out alive. Now trading going down in the mid lane. Not going to be anything huge coming in just yet. But the counter attack coming through on the top side, that's where Krakadon is. And that means that first tower going to go down in favor of Striking Vipers. We'll see if they can get a second charge off as well. They should have no problem doing that. There's no one else to help except for Brown Mandarius trying to set himself up. But the second charge comes through from the Rift Herald, and that means that a great use out of that Rift Herald coming through later on in this game, going to be putting themselves in good position to take Baron later on as well.
Yeah, I just want to go back to that Blossoms play down. He recognized the situation. He waited to hold his flash, timed it perfectly, got both of them out, and that. Oh, might get a flank here. Two flanks.
Yeah, it's a double teleport coming in. They're going to try to find the engage on the Blossoms. Blossoms going to be in trouble here, not going to have a way out. But the counter teleport coming through from the anime girl, going to be stunned up in the front line, going to be healing up as well. The cleanse comes through from Last Dance, going to be able to flash away from the Encore, but not going to be able to avoid the damage. Brown Mandarius going to come through with the auto attack, and the shutdown goes through. It's a 3-0, but now the counter attack is mid lane. Nemesis going to try to find the outplay in the 1v2, going to be in trouble under tower. The tower shot comes down, not going to be enough to finish off the kill. And nearby is Krakadon, so going to be trying to get the mid laner out alive. Brown Mandarius looking to find some more engage coming through, but not going to be able to find it just yet. That's 3-0 in favor of Synthetic Esports.
Yeah, that was well played by Synthetic. The double TP on the bot lane to pick up 3 kills, not just two. I imagine they're looking to maybe at least get two with the Dr. Muno there, but they pick up three and almost pick up a kill on Nemesis again, but he manages to escape. Not enough damage coming in from either from the tower, so he will manage to get out. They are still down though. They're about roughly 1.5k. Yeah, about
Mm-hmm.
1.5k.
Drake spawning.
And we got the Drake here,
Drake
so
spawning here in
it's
just
gonna be a
a
big fight.
moment, and yeah, could be a big fight. Aaron not in the area. We'll see if an engage can come through. Flash already being used. It sounded like by someone. I didn't see who it was though. 5-man strong for Striking Vipers, going to push out for some vision before trying to take this Drake down. Now on a flank is Robo Blunt trying to find himself a good engage. The Bone Saw going to come through though, finding some chunks. And 5v5 just standing off in the river. Now the Drake going to be started up by the side of Synthetic. They're going to see what they can do. Now the abilities starting to be thrown out from the side of Striking Vipers. The Drake coming down. Now the engage going to go through. Going to be a couple of charms coming through for the side of Synthetic. It's a 1-for-1 trade at the beginning of the fight. Krakadon is unstoppable. Now Anime Girl's zoning off. The Blade of the Exile not going to be able to find anyone for damage. Now going forward is Krakadon going to try to find his way onto Robo Blunt. Robo Blunt going to try to find a way out. Not going to be far enough away though. Nemesis going to clean up the kill, taking that one away from Krakadon. But it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Striking Vipers plus the Drake.
Oh my god, what a play by Striking Vipers. I was just gonna say too, you probably want to get the cats first in that fight, but I think the Tom Kins may have been a better choice because now they have no other tank. They're all squishies, and you still have your Doctor Mundo. Yeah, Thresh goes down, but Mundo's the main one you have to worry about in terms of taking damage. He was able to zone off, and that's why the Vipers were able to pick up the kill. They're gonna go on the Baron. I think they take this no problem.
Yeah, Philios, one of the best Drake takers in the game, especially with that white gun available. Now it could be tried to storm away, but Krakadon will be able to find the smite timing. So no contest there from the side of Synthetic. Now they're going to have to defend against Baron up, plus a couple thousand gold lead in favor of Striking Vipers.
I just want to point out something. I know Nemesis 9 has a kill now, but before he got that kill, the man was sitting at 0-3 and still had a bounty on him. That's insane. I think I've seen it once, and I'm just how is that even possible? But I mean, look at his CS. His CS is what is he's got to be up in gold now, right? No, he's still down, but it's only down by a bit. But that's insane. I just wanted to point that out. And then Krakadon 5-0 on the Xinjiao, Anime Girl 3-1, Last Dance 1-2, but he's still putting out damage, and that's what you want from the Aphelios. So, and I think
Yeah,
if your Last Dance not always being the carry is is very relaxing. You're not really stressing out. Krakadon really putting in work.
yeah, and looks like another engage going to be attempted here. Panzer gameplay could be in trouble, and the cleanse going to already be burned by the side of Blast. Off the kill on a Panzer gameplay. Now walking forward to Striking Vipers. They're going to try to find a way in. I've lost my vision of the gameplay, so hopefully we'll get that back soon. But they are sieging out this tier 2 tower. I can see it now. Looks like they have not found any more kills since they were able to find the pick on a Panzer gameplay. But now, with the wave crashing under the tier 2 tower, it's 5v4 on the map. Anime Girl going out to split push in the bot lane. That means the tier 2 mid already going down. Robo Blunt going to try to find some poke at least to dissuade any further engage. But Blossoms is on the case. He's found the hook. He's found the play. Now the stun's going through. It's going to be Robo Blunt trying to find the way out. Will be able to get back into the base, but will it be enough? The Petrifying Gaze is going to come up a bit short here. Now, no minion wave just yet. Going to be coming up in just about 5 seconds. Here is the minion wave going into the base and going to be enough to crash into the inhib tower. Will be able to take that one down. The inhibitor will go as well. And at what point does Synthetic Esports pull the trigger and try to find the counter engage? Five members are now on the map for Synthetic. They will be able to clear out the wave, but not before an inhibitor falls.
Yeah, sorry about that. Lost the gameplay. I have too many animals around me. But Striking Vipers, uh, I think I agree on playing it safe. They backed up here. They still have Baron. They could get the next wave to push in. They did get inhib, and they have total control of the map right now. I mean, look at the vision they get down as they leave the base. Um, but yeah, sorry about the whole mic thing. My cat unplugged my so basically, I have my cat unplugged my mic, and for some reason, my speakers on my computer are just horrible, and they never were that bad. But anyway, back to the game. Sorry about that. And Baron Buff will go down on the side of Vipers, but they are still well ahead, and the gold lead increased to about close to 6K. Not quite, but
Yep.
close.
And now we've got the Ocean Soul coming up here. Striking Vipers already claiming control over this river area. Going to be very difficult for Striking Vipers, or for Synthetic, to find the way in for the counter engage against this Drake. Going down, Striking Viper is going to be walking far forward. It's going to be Blossoms trying to find the pickoff. It's going to be Blunt trying to find his way back to his teammate. Crescent card already going to be popped. Now it's the Moonlight Visual trying to find some damage. Petrifying Gaze going to land stuns onto 4. Encore going to come through, landing on some charms. The shutdown going to come through in favor of Reppy, but now Last Dance going to claim one on the backside. Anime Girl is running chaos through the back line of Synthetic. Going to try to finish off yet another kill. It's 2-for-1 so far in favor of Striking Vipers. The play going to come through from Blossom. Going to be Anime Girl trying to finish off one more. The tower actually doing too much damage, though. It is turned around 2-for-2. Going to be the base defense coming through from the side of Synthetic, but back towards the Drake goes the side of Striking Vipers. Here comes the Lantern. Into the Drake pit they go. It is a Felios, which means that this Drake will be dropping extremely quickly. Smite not on the map for Striking Vipers. It is for the side of Synthetic, but it will not be there in time, which means Ocean Soul going over to Striking Vipers as the reward for that team fight.
Yeah, and I just want to point out Synthetic landed some perfect ults, especially from the Seraphine. I think she rooted at least three, but they didn't get Last Dance, and he was just basically free out of the whole line, the whole back line, over the wall. And again, just because he's down, or he's even now, but he was still doing damage. You have to take out the Aphelios still. Yeah, you have a stronger Zinjao, you have a stronger Dr. Mundo, but it's Aphelios. You know, he's scaling. Yeah, he's got farm, he's got kills now. You have to take out the Aphelios. And then Animator, I think he just went a bit too far under the tower. But maybe it was just to kind of stall more as they went towards the dragon, and now they have Soul and Ocean Soul. Oh, hold on.
Ooh. Blossoms may be sacrificed as he tried to clear out a control ward a little bit too far forward. Nemesis is pushing up the bot side, and 5 are here for the side of Synthetic, so they will need to fall back to that. We'll see if Nemesis can take this down. The pings are towards the Baron. Baron is alive now. Could be taken down by Synthetic if they are able to do it under the noses of Striking Vipers, but I think Striking Vipers may be aware of what's going on. Krakadon's starting to approach the pit. The Baron is being shredded up. The Casio, it's going to be attempted to be stolen. Not going to be quite enough, though. It is taken down by the side of Synthetic. Now the fight breaking out. It's going to be the first kill going over to Aaron, finishing off Krakadon. But now Last Dance is here, going to find the first kill of the fight. Anime Girl going to get the shutdown gold. Meanwhile, Nemesis losing the 1v1 to Brown Mandaris, who is able to defend the inhib. It's Anime Girl trying to go in 1v3 here. Could be a 1v4 shortly. Not going to be anyone coming in though, and Robo Blunt going to get squashed. Anime Girl must be possessing the newspaper because the spider just went splat. But of the rest of the team, it is the Baron buff onto three members of Synthetic Esports. Now Blossoms may be looking for a flank, maybe trying to turn this into a 2v2 here. It could be a 2v3 though. Good play going to disengage from Brown Mandarius, but not going to be dissuaded just yet. It will be the kill going over to Brown Mandarius. Now looking for more. Anime Girl could be in trouble. Now it's going to be the knockups coming through. Such a tanky Dr. Mundo, but it's no way out, really, I have to feel. Just trying to find a way to run away. The ult does come up, but the healing is not enough. The shutdown goes over to Pantsar gameplay, and Synthetic Esports live to fight another day.
Yeah, oh my god, the Mundo with an ocean soul, it's gotta be a nightmare. I feel like that took way longer than it should for a 3v1. My god, the man is just nearly unkillable. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't win that 3v1. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, but Vipers are still in a good position here. They still have I mean, the lead is cut down, but they do have an inhib down at the bottom. So it's gonna force Synthetic to really force someone down the bot lane. So fights could potentially be a 5v4 up until towards the end of the game. And they only have one tower down. Well, so they still have a lot of work to do just to get to a tier 3 tower, and we might see something here in the mid lane. Synthetic is going to look to force something. I feel like they have to. Time is still kind of ticking, despite the fact they have caught up and cut the gold lead down. But you still have a Dr. Mundo Ocean Soul. The Aphelios is still doing damage and it's only getting stronger. Zinjao is still getting stronger. So it's you got to pull more triggers and you got to pull them fast.
Yeah, and Victor even on the scaling front going to be doing well into the late game. But for the moment, it is a success for Synthetic that they were able to pick something up here. Now maybe going to look for more teleport coming in. It's Blossoms landing a hook, but only front line, not going to be enough to start the engage. Now setting up the flank is Krakadon, trying to at least dissuade the other team from flanking, but all of those things blown, and it's just a disengage coming through.
Yeah, the buff, Baron buff should be going down, and I'm pretty sure they were hoping to get one more fight with it, but couldn't really find the pick they were looking for. So Riven just goes back to get some items for the next fight, and Elder is up in about a minute. I imagine that is
Yeah,
where the next team fight will take place. Viper's hoping to maybe get the mid tier, the mid inhib before that fight to put more pressure down the mid lane. They still have the bot inhib, so you're gonna have pressure in the bot lane. Somebody will have to answer those minions, so Vipers will have the advantage if those minions keep shoving when it comes to this from this Drake fight that's coming up next.
yeah, both sides already aware of the Elder Drake spawning soon. Looks like they're going to be looking for some prio even deeper than the river. Right now, it's Krakadon in the enemy jungle trying to set up some vision, trying to take away any camps that are available as well. Still pretty even on the CS, but with the Elder Drake now spawning in 20 seconds, it's a push forward in the mid lane from the side of Striking Vipers trying to buy some space, going to be able to fall back towards the Drake. But now the engage going to be forced by the side of Synthetic. They're going to have the flank as well coming through from Brown Mandarius. But the healing is so much from Anime Girl. It's a full 5-man encore going through. But the Crescent Guard going to try to find some front line. It's going to be 2 kills going over to Synthetic really quick. The Last Dance is still alive. There is still hope for Striking Vipers in this fight. Anime Girl trying to front line. The health bars are super low from the side of Synthetic. Now it's going to be a push towards the mid lane from Synthetic. They may just try to pick up this wave, but the Elder Drake going to be started up here by Striking Vipers. They're looking for a fight. Anime Girl going to throw down some bone saws, going to try to finish this one off. The health bar is still low. They're not regenning for the side of Synthetic. Flash forward from Anime Girl trying to find the engage onto Robo Blunt. Will be able to get him away from the Drake for the time being. But now Last Dance going to try to finish off the kill onto Brown Mandarius. It will be successful. Robo Blunt going to be over the wall a little bit too soon. Going to be blown up instantly by Anime Girl. Now into the back line is Krakadon going to be able to try to finish off the kill. going down himself before he is able to, but it is going to be Anime Girl cleaning this one up. Going in onto the back line, Aaron will be the last target to fall, and it is an ace going over to Striking Vipers.
That fight was a what was it, a 5v3 for so long for Synthetic Esports, but they couldn't do anything. They had no health. I think it was Riven who was the lowest, and they split up. And even the Engage and the Aphelios, they had no health. It's Aphelios. He again the damage. Just that was their one chance, and despite having the numbers advantage, it just was not enough. And they will not take the dragon as they don't need it. And this will be a series win for Striking Vipers as they still remain undefeated in the UPL season.
Yeah, just a solid performance here. A little bit shakier in game number two than in game number one.
Yeah, and we kind of predicted that. The Synthetic definitely picked a better draft this time. And so ultimately they performed better. That's what they needed
And
to
the
do.
team fights were clean, and that was all that they needed. Striking Vipers able to come away cleanly with a 2-0.
Yeah, just better team wins. I mean, like I said, Synthetic did everything right. They did everything better this second time around. They got the draft they needed. They got the team fights they needed. Just it comes down to which team is stronger. And despite Cass doing the most damage, if you just compare it to the side of Striking Vipers, I mean, look at Mundo. He's up in the damage charts. Because Vipers hold the second and third most damage, so it just goes to show again the stronger team's just gonna win in the end, and that's basically what happened here.
Yeah, well, I think that just about says it. I think. Do we have any more updates on how Maestros are doing?
Let me see. They should game two might be over right now, but let's see. I'll go ahead and throw the raid over to Unified, but make sure they're still streaming. They're still streaming Valorant, so I can't even rate them.
All right. Well, whatever the case, thank you all for joining us for this matchup between Striking Vipers and
Moments.
Synthetic
Keep watching the
Esports.
Olympics.
Striking
My
Vipers
name is
improving
Sancho.
to 4-0 on the season. They will be in position to take the number one spot here as long as they're able to pick up a win next week. 2 more weeks of the regular season, then we got playoffs coming through, and hopefully we'll be able to stream some more of this for you guys. Hopefully you'll be here to join us again. And until next time, I am Tiger. I've been here with Rob, and it's been a pleasure to cast these games. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Yes, thank you again, everybody. Don't forget to give a follow, give us a sub, and we really appreciate everything you guys do to help keep this org going. We will see you next time.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing?